What's going on, you guys? GrimTV here with another Back for Blood video. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys some tips and tricks on how to use the tall boy in the most effective ways possible. Hope you guys enjoy. If you do, be sure to smack that subscribe and that like button. Thank you very much. Let's get right into it. Most of the tips that I'll be discussing are used for the Bruiser variant for me personally, but I know that they can apply to the Crusher variant of the tall boy as well. First things first, as with any Ridden, you want to go ahead and spend some of your upgrade points to increase the damage and the overall trauma of the Bruiser or the tall boys. This will allow you to do more damage initially. You either want to spend these points on the common or on whichever Ridden that you're going to be using to go ahead and increase your team's effectiveness. Overall, it makes a real big difference in terms of which team is using upgrades and which isn't, so definitely be sure to do that. The second tall boy tip that I have for you guys is to go ahead and find the weakest cleaner or the lonely cleaner, the one that's split from the team, and try to just get to him the quickest and use your trauma to separate him from his team. As you can see, with this wretch going after this individual, I went ahead and piled on and we were able to separate the team into two separate groups, which really played to our advantage later in this match. So the more that you're able to push people away from their team and towards the swarm, it forces more damage on their team. It's a big play, so definitely keep that in mind. It's important to remember that you have multiple forms of attack as any Ridden, but especially as a tall boy variant. It's key to use your attacks based on the situations that you're in. You don't want to use an attack that's going to make you vulnerable for long periods of time unless you have 2 or less cleaners in an area or you're already on your way to death. You always want to use the trauma attacks to knock teammates as far away from one another as possible. As you can see, knocking them towards the swarm, knocking them away from each other, using the quicker attacks when necessary, but not leaving yourself exposed or too vulnerable to too much damage. Using the right movements at the right time is key in creating opportunities for your team to take advantage of, like pinning someone in a corner or knocking them away from their team. Using your movement to get closer to people in times where they're in need of a teammate but are unable to get to them. It's just super important in many situations. Tip number 4 would be a really obvious one, but surprisingly a lot of people don't take this into consideration right now, and that's to always take cover and regain your health. If you make a mistake going in for an attack and it doesn't go the way that you want it to go, you can always pull out and look for another opportunity. Maybe somebody falls behind again and you're in a better spot now while you're regaining health than you were prior. So definitely use that to your advantage. It's not to be taken for granted, the health regen.
Hey, help here! Don't worry, I'm here. Hey, I need help! Please! Over here!
Need to reload.
The fifth and final tip that I have for the Bruisers and the tall boys, and really all the Ridden in general, would be to always play as a team. Don't allow yourselves to trickle in individually. This will lead to weak spots in your attacks. You guys will be respawning at offset times, which will just lead to a weaker round. It'll allow the cleaners to defend much easier. If you allow a hawker or a wretch to make a play, maybe there's acid on the floor, someone gets pinned to the floor, and then you move in and you look for your opportunity to attack and weaken the team and knock them towards the swarm. Use the other tips, as I mentioned in the video, to take advantage of the situations when your whole team is alive. Don't wait until everybody's dead to use these tips because they won't work then. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and these tips are helpful. Good luck out there killing plenty of ridden as well as cleaners using these tips. If you guys enjoyed, definitely be sure to stick around, subscribe and like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. There'll be lots more Back for Blood content coming to this channel in the future, beta content as well as full game content when the game comes out in October, so definitely stick around. Alrighty, take care you guys. Thanks for watching.